Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody walk up to the flag. Call meeting to order and open the roll call.
Goodell.
Here.
Slater.
Here.
Scholl.
Here.
Rusher.
Here.
Davis.
Here. First up, we need a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed. Next, we need a motion to approve the minutes of the November 3rd, 2014 regular council meeting.
Move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed. And we need a motion to approve the October treasurer's report. Questions?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed. Under communications, anything from the public in attendance this evening? If not, Clint, we'll move on to the People Service Monthly Report.
Quick update on the water. We had a leak down by John's place here this last month on a 2-inch galvanized, and wasn't John right on the patch almost?
Yeah.
Down there, but it was actually 3 separate leaks in a small stretch.
That was galvanized, huh?
It was galvanized, that's right,
Wow.
yeah, it was galvanized, yeah, yep. So, but there was 3 separate leaks that we got those patched, taken care of. We've been fixing a few of the little ones. The leak detection guy found some little ones here and there, so Marty did say that they starting to notice usage is going down. It's gone down, so we're slowly getting a handle on it. Of course, we're going into the season again, winter, but the water plant, we're still, I think Aaron probably has some more information on that as far as the communicating. We're trying to work with the engineers and CPI. So unless you want to.
Yeah, there's, obviously, the antenna's not working on the south tower to send the communications back and forth between the 2 towers and the water plant. And so it was kind of a situation where CBI and IPT were arguing back and forth on whose responsibility it was, because it was kind of that mesh point between the 2 projects, between the water plant and the water tower. Eventually, CBI accepted responsibility for it being the scope of their scope of work, and so they're working on getting somebody in. There's 2 pay requests and a change order with CBI. One of the pay requests, the engineers recommended to table until this issue is resolved, so that there is some leverage. Evidently, it's a $200 antenna that needs to be fixed on it, so it's not a huge thing, but you gotta get somebody to come back and fix it. And so they're working on getting that fixed, because it's the last thing until the guys can stop having double shifts out of the water plant, so that they can push everything into the towers and be done, so, yeah.
So are we having problems with flow up and down and stuff then, or are we
Well, no, you see, they started today, I think they started, or they're gonna drain out a quarter, maybe half of it, just to flush it. And then we're gonna fill it back up and put it online. And I checked in earlier, because there were some pressure issues just in the mornings from that same little area up there. And they weren't cleaning any filters at the time, because they wait to do that now till the north tower's almost full before they do anything. So I don't know what would have caused that fluctuation in that, but it's in the same little area, is what it seems to be, the same people.
Sorry about, you remember the Humboldt County Development Association meeting? There was a few people who live up on the hill there that have reported issues with fluctuations in water pressure, and so.
Seems to be in the mornings.
I can tell you day to day the difference in my shower.
Yeah.
Today wasn't good.
Mhm.
Yesterday was good.
Right.
So it's,
Yeah, I don't know what, like I says, once we get that other tower online, then that should take care of that, so. Hopefully the sooner the better. Then what we'll have to do is kind of relearn everything so we don't overflow it. Then we'll have to run up back and forth and check the pressure gauge, so we don't, overflow it, so. But we're hopefully getting a little closer.
How's your other problems at the plant with, SCADA system, whatever it was there?
They got some of those loose ends tied up and corrected. They went through, in fact, Lance was here, Fox was here, I think it was a week or so, a week and a half ago. And spent pretty much the better part of the day just going through fixing the little bugs in it. So that's getting a little better. We do have one issue Aaron asked Lance about, and we haven't got an answer back yet when the whole SCADA system, it just shut
Crashes,
down.
yeah.
And you can't, I mean, it's dead in the water. But we did find out, the guy from Automatic Systems walked us through it. Now we've got it laminated, the instructions, if it happens again, but like I told him, something's causing it. I mean, it shouldn't do that.
Didn't,
And it's 4 times, I think that's
Yeah.
happened.
It's not overheating, is it?
No, it's something with the electronics and the computer, it just
I think
shuts down.
Lance is
literally.
still working on it, but I think his preliminary response was that as far as the tower communicating with the water plant, that might be causing some issues, but until that's resolved, it's hard to prove that that's not the case.
Yeah.
So, that was his answer, but I mean, once we get the tower figured out.
Right.
Um,
Get that all up and running, but. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, so.
How many water leaks have we still got? Do I understand there's several?
There's
fixed yet
some
to
that
do?
our marks got seal coated over, so we gotta have the guy come back and narrow those down again. I think there's 1, 2 for sure, possibly 3 out of the 8 or 10, I think we had.
The one out by Come and Go last week, was that a 2-inch, or how big was that then that was in the street?
I think that was a 2-inch, I'm not for sure. That was, so, like I said, there's been quite a few, and what caused those, whether the towers were fluctuating in the pressure, well, last winter didn't help any at all, so we may find in some of those from last winter yet, so it was a pretty tough winter, so.
Did you get the packing in the manhole fixed up there where the valve is on Rainbow Drive? Is that fixed?
Yeah, Gary Jensen, I talked to him November 4th, and he said he was gonna do it, so kinda once a week I just call him, just remind him, so that, he said he would do that, so. Okay, thank you.
Picked up. All right, this being, time for a public hearing. This being the time and place for the scheduled public hearing on the submittal of a Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, application, I will open the public hearing at 5:40 PM. Aaron?
This is the Community Development Block Grant Housing Rehabilitation program that the city's engaged in previously. We submitted a grant last year. It was not funded. This is the resubmittal with some tweaks in it. Crystal with Midas is here to kind of go over what we need to do. It's kind of a long process for the public hearing as far as everything that has to be talked about. There's 2 pages in front of you as far as information that we'll kind of go over formally for the application process.
Thank you. The city of Humboldt saw the need for, to improve the housing in the city. 3 applications were sent out to the entire city, the residents, for owner-occupied, single-family housing. Of that, we received 43 applications from those in the targeted area. And just going over those applications, it looks like about 24 of them would qualify. 19 probably most likely do not because of possibly income being too high. The city is requesting the funds from Iowa Economic Development Authority in the form of a Community Development Block Grant Housing Fund Program. Homeowners may be required to contribute funds if their project ends up being over the minimum amount, or the maximum amount of $24,999 that the CDBG program will allow. The city is formally committed to contribute $28,140 towards the program. The application does need to be submitted by 11:59 PM on December 8th of 2014. The amount of funds that the city is requesting, $344,850 of CDBG funds from Iowa Economic Development Authority. 100% of the program funds will help low to moderate income persons in the city of Humboldt, in that targeted area. The proposal has been identified, there's been a targeted area identified, which is up on the screen there, to help. If anybody in the audience would like a copy, I do have a copy of that as well.
Just let me touch on the target area.
Sure, go right
real
ahead.
quick. We had to narrow up the target area so the impact is greater. If you remember last year, we had a much larger target area. And the good side is you get more applications, probably easier to use the funds. But the bad side is for the grant application that it looks like a lower impact on that area that you've quote targeted for the application. So knowing that that happened last time, we tightened it up a little bit as far as the target area. Looking at what we had as far as pre-applications, this seemed like to make the most sense. While there were 43, obviously some of those are thrown out.
Right.
But I think there's a good group of homes that could be identified in this area for improvement. So hopefully we'll make a big impact and get the funds spent and turn it right back around for another application. So.
Yes, thank you. No persons or businesses will be displaced because of the program or the grant. As far as plans to assist persons, no one will be actually displaced from their home. During lead work, they may be temporarily relocated. We either set them up with family or friends or in a hotel. That may happen, but no one will actually be displaced from their house. The activity is to rehabilitate 10 single-family owner-occupied homes. We have to bring the homes up to Iowa minimum housing standards as established from Iowa Economic Development Authority. The persons authorized to receive and respond citizens' proposals, questions, complaints, and concerns is Shirley Humboldt with Midas Council of Governments. And the persons available to provide technical assistance to groups representing low to moderate income persons and preparing and presenting their proposals for request would be Midas Council of Governments. Have any questions on the program itself or any comments? One other thing we need to do tonight as well, in your packets too, you should have the Community Development and Housing Needs Assessment. This is from last year, and I need you to go through it and see if there's any items that you've taken care of, the city has accomplished, or if there's new items that you may want to add to it.
Looks like we're doing everything on the list in here.
Yeah, looks good to me.
The list looks accurate? Okay. Any other questions or comments?
When do these go in for application and stuff then? End of the year then, or when do these go in, Crystal?
The application? It's
Yeah.
due December 8th.
But then they get turned into the state then, or?
They get turned into the state December 8th, and then we usually hear end of March, beginning of April, somewhere in there. It depends on the budgets, with the government, but roughly right around there.
Okay,
So,
good.
all right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any written comments or objections on file?
Buying your deal there. No, put it there, thank you.
Do we have any written comments or objections on file, Gloria?
No, we don't.
Do we have any comments or objections from the general public in attendance this evening? There being no more comments or objections on the proposed submittal of a Community Development Block Grant CDBG application, I will close the public hearing at 5:47. Under new business, we need a motion to approve the fiscal year 2013-2014 City of Humboldt Urban Renewal Report and authorize the city clerk to submit the report to the Iowa Department of Management.
I'm just gonna quick go over the front page of the report. It's a pretty lengthy report. You'll be able to look at it on your own in your free time. But as a summary, the front page is the summary. It summarizes all the TIF activity we've had over the last year. What is not on here right now is our Northwest urban renewal area, the last one we just did, because it wasn't in the system for the Department of Management. They're working on getting that put in here, but we haven't actually expended much out of there yet except for administrative fees. So that's not really a active area just yet, but that's the one that the Precision Tank Development Agreement is included in. TIF revenue for the year, taxes brought in $823,621, $28 in interest, and $675,180. That is mostly refinance proceeds from the refinanced notes that we did, for total revenue of $1,498,829. Then for expenditures, we paid out almost $110,000 in TIF rebates to various businesses, and $1,664,000 in loan payments for our various notes that we have, for a total of expenditures of $1,774,119. That leaves us with a cash balance at the end of the year of $211,047. And I'm just gonna quick, we have 5 urban renewal areas, and I'm just gonna quick go through and just refresh you guys on what is included in each of those areas. Our biggest one is the north side urban renewal area. That covers development agreements with Jetco, who have 2. Red Power has 1, Syntex has 2, APR has 1, and Baumgars has 1. The loans that are included in that area are the Frick cleanup loan. There's a grant match for a revolving loan fund for industry. There's a loan for the water tower, and a loan that paid for infrastructure improvements around Jetco up in the Northwest Industrial Park. The south side urban renewal area has Riverview Heights. We just paid off the Riverview Heights, the last Riverview Heights area loan, and now it has an Eagle Ridge loan in it. The southwest urban renewal area, that is where the high capacity development agreement comes out of.